What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Friday morning edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show here at FTNFantasy.com. My name is Zach Graham, aka Kawaisenberg DFS. Ready to jump into some post 4th of July festivities here today. Hope everybody had a good 4th. We had a day off, or I guess now today we have a day off from the Olympic basketball. I did just notice that some of those props just populated over on Underdog, so maybe we'll take those a little bit later. But a day off today from the men's hoops. We've got 3 games in the W, a full slate of MLB, and who knows, maybe some PGA picks popping up in the Discord chat later on from the great Alex Blickel. As everybody's filing in here while we're live, and I appreciate you tuning in, whether you're catching this live or on the replay. If you're watching on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up on this video. When you like the video, it helps us grow the show, helps us grow the channel. So if you're watching over there on Twitter, click on that YouTube link, head over there, help us out. We'd greatly appreciate it. And just to get this out of the way first, and again, very important today, the early bird special for this upcoming NFL season, right? The early bird special here at FTN expiring tomorrow. So this is the last day for the early bird pricing. So let me go ahead and I'll just drop this link into the chat here because this is, again, the best it's going to get from that pricing perspective this season. I always talk about that VIP Plus subscription here on the prop stream. But right now, I mean, NFL VIP package, $249.99 for the full season, right? So that's a little more than $20 a month. All your NFL tools and content here at FTN includes all the NFL betting models, DFS projections, advanced statistics, more, of course, access to all of the Discord channels, your season-long fantasy football, right? This includes Fantasy Football Plus. So hand build feature in the optimizer on the DFS side. You've got the PrizePicks parlay builder. I mean, the list goes on and on. Alex in here saying, going to drop a couple Boom Fantasy 5-pick plays into the Discord in a few minutes. So again, those will be exclusive for our FTN Fantasy subscribers. So if you sign up with that early bird pricing here today, you'll get access to the Discord. You'll have access to those plays. And then I won't leave the stream without just saying one more time, you can upgrade to that VIP Plus subscription. That's just $25 a month for the full year. So $299.99, and that gets you access to everything under the FTN Fantasy umbrella. So not just everything you'd get from those NFL packages, but access to all of the tools and content here at FTN. So you've got the link there in the YouTube chat, ftnfantasy.com/pricing. If you're on Twitter and you follow any of us here at FTN, you are going to see that plastered all over your timeline today. And just from about an hour ago, the great Aaron Schatz tweeting out, last day today for this discount, but subscribers will also get a discount on the FTN Almanac when they sign up. So straight from the account of Aaron Schatz. Let's get into some of these picks here today. Alex mentioned a couple of those picks over on Boom Fantasy. We've been having a lot of fun with those. You can sign up, promo code FTN, gets you a free $100 play or up to $100 free play over there at Boom Fantasy. And of course, we always talk about that promo code FTN at sign up of PrizePicks. If you haven't signed up there yet, 100% deposit match bonus up to $100. Download the Sleeper app, same promo code, same deal, 100% match up to $100. And then if you haven't signed up yet with our friends at Underdog Fantasy, it's a 50% deposit match bonus with that promo code FTN, but that's up to $250 over there at UD. And you'll also get a special discounted pick by using our promo code. So promo code FTN for all 4 of those sites. Let's go ahead and get into the picks here. Let's rev it up. We'll start on the baseball side of things, and of course looking at the MLB PrizePicks prop tool that we have here at FTNFantasy.com. Of course, we're always looking for correlation. That's one of the big bonuses of this tool you can see, giving you the true odds, that win percentage up top, any correlation bonus that the tool perceives here. I want to start Twins and Astros here today, taking a look at, again, what amounts to a very full MLB slate here today. You've got Pablo Lopez on the mound for the Twins. Some significant favorites here at home. Implied run total of 8. We know that Pablo's been doing quite well for himself this season, especially of late. So looking in the tool, I will say there are at the top of the tool a couple fantasy point plays that are recommended for some of these pitchers that I just don't feel super comfortable with taking less thans on, like a Tyler Glasnow, guys like that. But going here to Pablo Lopez, tool likes the less than selection on his hits prop. That hits prop is set at 5.5. So I want to lock that in here for the first pick. And then, of course, when we're looking for some of this correlation, we have to go over to the Astros side. So in the PrizePicks tool here at FTNFantasy, we can narrow this down, Stros and Twins, and we can look for a selection on the Astros side. And I think that is going to be a less than 7.5 fantasy points here on Jose Altuve. Again, not projected too much lower than that line of 7.5, but when you take a look at what the tool says here, Pablo Lopez, Jose Altuve, win percentage of just a hair over 40% there, but that correlation bonus up here at the top of the tool, plus 5.3%. So very healthy correlation between these two. The one thing I will say, running this on PrizePicks and of course on Underdog as well, they will penalize for correlation. In the 6 pick that I put in this morning with this pairing, alongside the 4 WNBA plays we're going to talk about, this did knock the 6 pick play down to a 23x. So that is still on the borderline of acceptable for me. I did run this pairing with my 4 WNBA picks from this morning, but just a heads up, that is a 23x payout when you put in that full 6er on PrizePicks this morning. So because I don't just want to play those, 23, 24x, I want to get a 25xer in there. This is not the only WNBA, the only MLB pick that I'm going to make here this morning. Like I mentioned, you've got guys like Fried up top, guys like Glasnow. I'm good on that, but you scroll down a little bit, you see Royals and Rockies here tonight. Again, this is at Coors Field, so you've got the implied run total of 10 there, but Cole Reagan's on the mound. 10 runs for Coors Field, that's not terrible. Sometimes you see that up 12.5. So the model here is very interested in a more than selection on Cole Reagan's and his strikeout prop of 7.5, just a touch over 8.3 there in the model. So I also ran one where I've just got the Lopez less than 5.5 hits, Reagan's more than 7.5 Ks, and of course that gets you to that full 25x payout on your 6 pick play. So there's 3 MLB picks here this morning. And Alex noting here on Underdog, Reagan's already moved to 8. So again, PrizePicks, if you can find this on Sleeper or Boom, we also like, again, the more than selection on Reagan's strikeout prop here at 7.5. So let's get to the WNBA here on our Friday morning. Like I mentioned earlier, we've got 3 games in the W tonight, and Aces on a back-to-back here, second end tonight on Friday, taking on the Sparks on the road, 12.5-point road favorites. Only Asia Wilson props on PrizePicks before the stream. I think some of those have begun to populate over the last 15 minutes or so. So I'll take a second look at that game. The 4 props that I want to talk about here on the stream today are from the other 2 games we have on the slate. So let's start in the opener here tonight. This is going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern, kicking off our 3-game slate. The other 2 games, 10 p.m. Eastern out there on the West Coast. Atlanta visiting Dallas tonight. So Dream 4-point road underdogs here. Healthy 163 implied total in this one. We've been seeing some of those Atlanta games in the high 150s. So Dallas helping them elevate that total a little bit. And we can start here on the Dallas side of things. And I'm going to go back to a prop that did us well the other night. We are going to go back to Arike Ogunbowale and take a more than selection on her points prop that is set at 22.5. Not much has changed with my case here on Arike. Again, she continues to play nearly the entirety of every Dallas Wings game. She's averaging 38.5 minutes per game this season. Again, 40-minute games in the W. She's got career high volume, over 21 shots per game. She's got career high usage, the highest since 2020. And again, she has been an all-star in each of the last 3 years, averaging a career high right now, 23.8 points per game. So again, this line at 22.5, with this game expected to remain close throughout. And the Atlanta side very short-handed in terms of their backcourt depth right now. Howard still out, of course. You could make an argument for her being a wing, of course, but also Jordan Canada, their new acquisition, who had become their new starting point guard. She is also out here tonight, so I don't have many worries taking Ogunbowale here. Again, it's going to come down to, is she going to make the 20-plus shots that she's likely going to take? Is she going to get you over that line? I think this should be at least at 23.5 here. So Arike, the first selection here. And then there's JJ in here. Good to see JJ. Hope you had a good fourth, buddy. Other side of this game. Okay, I mentioned some of those absences for the Dream. So the player, and we're going to the fantasy score board here. Ryan Howard, like I mentioned, out for this team for the foreseeable future. The biggest beneficiary from a fantasy standpoint has been Tina Charles, with Howard off the floor so far this year. And again, we've talked about Charles, especially early in the season where her lines were entirely too low, even at this advanced stage of her career. They quickly corrected those. And so we haven't been back to Tina Charles in a while, but the future Hall of Famer in my book. 1.27 PrizePicks fantasy score points per minute with no Howard this year. That's almost a 200-minute sample size now. So her fantasy score line of 33, I think, is at least 2 points too low for this spot. Again, with just a 4-point spread in this one. Charles' size, absolutely necessary against this Wings front court. Again, Sabali's still out, but you've got Howard giving it a go tonight. Tiara McCowan, who knows if she's going to play 15 minutes or 30 minutes, but they've got Monique Billings waiting in the wings as well. So Charles going to be very much necessary here tonight. I think this projection is entirely too low. We'll move into the Storm and the Sky here. Take a quick sip. Storm 10-point home favorites here, 160.5 implied total. We're going to start with the pick that we went to, I want to say Monday's stream. And I don't think this actually worked out all too well. I believe we had Nneka Ogwumike at 16.5 points last time out. We took the over. We're going to go back to a more than selection here. That prop is down to 15.5 here tonight. And again, very similar case to what we had on Monday when we went to Nneka. And I mean, man, I think she had 12 or 13 first half points and finished with, I think, 15 in that one, maybe 16. But Ogwumike, 17.2 points per game so far this season. Obviously, it is a different type of situation now in Seattle compared to the way the Sparks were structured really around Ogwumike the last two seasons. But the usage is not too far off. The efficiency is up a little bit, but you're looking at, she was right around 14 shot attempts per game in her last two seasons as the hub, the centerpiece of that Sparks offense in the 22 and 23 seasons. 13.2 attempts per game so far this season. The usage was right around 25, 26%. 21.5% usage here. So again, the lines should be adjusted down, but 15.5 is a little too far for me. So NECA more than 15.5 points here tonight. Can you go back? Like I think 10 of the 16, I think it's 9 of the 16 games so far this season, she's over that number. And then you look back at her Sparks days, more than 16 points in over 75% of those games in the 22 and 23 season. So I'm a big fan of that one. And then on the other side of that game, a pair of picks from each of these games. We're going to go to Marina Mabrey, less than 28.5 fantasy score here. And again, I know we've taken plenty of less thans, plenty of more thans on Mabrey this season, personnel and matchup dependent. And so again, depending on those factors, they're double-digit dogs here on the road. And more importantly, with Angel Reese on the court, Mabrey's fantasy points per minute ticked down slightly. And then with somebody like Camila Cardoso on the court, who again, that is the front court of the future here for the Chicago Sky, kind of accelerated by the injury to Liz Williams about a month ago. Mabrey is down to 0.77. I can double check on this as we go. Yeah, 0.77 PrizePicks fantasy score points per minute when sharing the floor with Cardoso this season. Again, the new starting 5 there in Chicago. So I like the less than selection here. Projected to be a tough climb for the Sky to stay in this one here tonight out there on the West Coast. And again, sharing the court with some of those higher usage front court options has not been helpful on the fantasy score side for Marina Mabrey. So that does it here for me on the Friday edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show. Again, just running through the picks that we have here. And I see about 4 minutes ago, we did get that first Boom Fantasy play. Looks like a 5-pick play in there from Alex Blickel. All of our FTN subscribers have that play now in their back pocket on the Boom Fantasy side. And what we talked about here on today's stream, we've got Lopez less than 5.5 hits, paired with Altuve less than 7.5 fantasy points. Then I also ran one. I just took the Lopez prop. Cole Reagan's more than 7.5 strikeouts. And again, that's already up to 8 over there on Underdog. Then from the WNBA side, we've got Enrique Agumbawale, more than 22.5 points. Tina Charles, more than 33.5 fantasy score. Neko Gumake, more than 15.5 points. And rounding it out, Marina Mabrey, less than 28.5 fantasy score. Again, on your way out, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video, helps us grow everything here at FTN Fantasy. And again, the last day for early bird pricing headed into the NFL season. Head over there, ftnfantasy.com/pricing, or just any of myself or my colleagues here at FTN. Our Twitter feeds are going to be inundated with those graphics, those links here today. Come join us. Going to be a great season here at FTN Fantasy. Alex back tomorrow with another edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show on Saturday morning. I will be back on this stream on Monday. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. And of course, good luck tonight.